And you go beep, 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 beep.
Texas could elect the nation's first Black Latina member of Congress in November. Candace Valenzuela began her congressional campaign last year canvassing with her newborn.
I'm out here talking to voters. I'm running for United States Congress, and I want to get people's concerns.
Now, she's a part of a wave of Black and Latinx candidates who could form the most diverse Congress ever. Candace says she's received an increase in support over the last few months since the Black Lives Matter movement gained momentum.
Politics don't happen in a vacuum, and what's going on the forefront of the minds of many Americans is going to affect the way that they behave at the ballot box. A lot of the issues that we have in our income disparities, in our inequities, and in our unequal application of justice, all of those things did play a role in the win here, and I think they're going to continue to play a role going forward in November.
The 36-year-old candidate won the Democratic primary runoff in July for Texas' 24th district. Candace faced 6 opponents in the Democratic primary in March and placed second with 30.4% of the vote. 4 months later, her support doubled, and she beat her opponent with more than 60% of the vote. Now, she's advancing to the general election in November.
This moment is going to usher in a representative body in Washington, D.C. that better reflects the American people.
While the U.S. Congress has become more racially and ethnically diverse over the past 5 elections, only about 22% of its current members are non-white. That's disproportionate when compared to the country's general population. But Congress is likely to become slightly more diverse next year because the group of candidates running now come from a wide variety of backgrounds. Among them is Jamal Bowman, a former principal in the Bronx who became the Democratic nominee for New York's 16th congressional district after a surge in support fueled by the Black Lives Matter movement. He defeated a 16-term incumbent and is now likely to win the general election, as the district has historically voted Democratic.
This is a moment where we need this kind of change in Congress and at every level of government.
Our movement is designed to restore that faith, to restore that hope, to bring back the belief in what is possible.
I knew that running as a Black man mattered in this district particularly, because this is a minority district.
But aside from the protests, Jamal says his urge to run stemmed from seeing women like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib pave the way towards a more diverse Congress.
Our squad includes any person committed to building a more equitable and just world.
It was just a huge breakthrough to see the squad, win their elections and enter, Congress and enter Washington, D.C., just, speaking truth to power and taking no prisoners.
But a lot could change for the congressional hopefuls between now and November. Candace is running for a seat that has been held by the GOP for 2 decades, and no woman or person of color has ever held that seat. Her opponent, Beth Van Duyne, won her primary with 64% of the vote back in March, and has been raising money for her general election campaign ever since.
My Republican opponent did not have a primary runoff, so she's been in her current campaign status since March 3rd of 2020, whereas I just won last Tuesday on July 14th. So that means that I have to overcome a fundraising gap in order to, again, better communicate the message that this campaign is here for the people of Texas's 24th district, is here for the people of Texas and for this country.
Candace has received an endorsement from the late John Lewis, as well as congressional Hispanic, Black, Asian, and progressive caucuses. Up until the coronavirus hit, Candace was gearing up for November, juggling childcare and campaign duties.
So I would drive around and I would pump in the car. I'd keep a cooler alongside me next to my literature. And then I would make sure I'd put the milk to the side and then take the literature out, and I would go and talk to voters. Having 2 young boys, my husband and mother-in-law and I have been juggling our time because one person watching them the whole day is not something that's tenable for anybody. And so we're flipping our work schedules. My husband is often working into the night because my schedule requires my daylight hours. So I'm really proud of my family, but it has been tough.
Candace says she's experienced tough times before, like when she and her family struggled financially and were homeless.
I remember the kiddie pool I played in at our old house. The house we lost after my mom finished serving in the Army and couldn't pay the bills. That was a home. And there was the gas station, where I slept in that same kiddie pool the night we fled domestic abuse and had nowhere else to go. That was a home.
But now she's optimistic about the future.
What I would say to that little girl who was homeless as a small child is that it's going to get better. And when it does get better, you're going to be able to work with a lot of incredible people to make it better for other children. And it's not easy, but it will be worthwhile.